Yeah, okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Alive. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of CampusCare EdTalks, an exclusive platform wherein educators or stalwarts of educators come from different parts of India and express their viewpoints on burning topics related to education. Before I begin, let me quickly introduce you to Entab. We're a 20-year-old IT company engaged in providing mature and futuristic school ERP, CRM, and mobile apps to the top schools across India and help transform them from good schools to the best schools. In today's session of Campus Care Ed Talks, we shall put our heads together and discuss with our guest speaker about the technological advancement in today's education and teaching scenario. The technology consists of a larger ability to transform teaching by using a new model of connected teaching and learning. I'm sure you must agree, ma'am, that technology empowers educators to efficiently and effectively personalize learning, and schools now are fast catching up to the technological use in classrooms, especially after pandemic. So without any further delay, let me quickly introduce you our first guest of the day. She's an educationist who's a global leader and has contributed to the field of education for a commendable 30 years. She has been leading reputed institutions not just in India but across the globe. Due to her effectiveness and efficiency, ma'am is a recipient of several awards like the Best Principal Award by ISA Dubai, Expressions India, and UX India, and many others. She received a letter of appreciation from the Abu Dhabi Education Council for successful system oriented functioning of the school. Please welcome Saroja Sahadevan, ma'am, Director Principal of Sahara Advanced World School, Purnea. Welcome on board, ma'am.
Thank you, Himanshu. It's a delight to be with you people.
Yeah, ma'am, it's a delight to, again get connected with you. And it's always a pleasure to always have you and to, have this conversation with you. So, ma'am,
I think
let's
it's
begin our webinar today. And the thing is, everybody talks about technology, everybody, and also the pandemic taught us that the technology is must. So, what are if we talk about benefits, then what are the tangible benefits of implementing complete technological advancement at your school?
Himanshu, let me tell you one thing. It is not at all, it's just not in my school. If I see the scenario completely, we understand that every child is a learner, isn't it? Every child has got the learning capacity. But that motivation that is required, sometimes when we say the personalized touch by the teacher in the classroom, it is not possible that way. But when you use technology, whatever we say, the latest 21st century skills, it becomes easy for the teachers to develop that. Like you say, collaboration. Collaboration is something that the world is looking forward to these days, isn't it? And the independent learning styles of the children, because every child is unique and every child has got a different pattern of learning. Like you say, the multiple intelligence theory becomes much more practical when you start using technology in your classrooms. I think that is what is more important. That is what is
Right.
more important because in the coming scenario or in the coming century, your schools have to become futuristic. You have to depend on skill development only.
Right.
So that's how it has got its very tangible benefits.
Right. Ma'am, taking you from that, engaging students, especially during Corona times and now afterwards, is going to prove a lot challenging now. So, what sort of material or, what sort of techniques you would apply in your school so that to keep that engagement of student engagement to the maximum level?
Yeah, like you said, that is more important. Like it's all about the learning style, keeping the students engaged because it cannot be a one-way process. So I would empower tools which would make the children empowered. I don't want them to be just mere rote learners. For example, let me give you a small example. If I'm having a class where I'm teaching the child a poetry, maybe a limerick, I'm teaching the child a limerick. But if I allow the child to create a limerick of his or her own, then the importance of understanding becomes more better for the child. So I would use tools where teachers go with specific activity-oriented materials, the resources, the lessons are planned in such a manner where they tell them this is a way you can create a limerick. There are clues given to them. I have clues in the Zoom classroom or maybe in my whatever resources we are using. We have specific clues which help the children to create things for themselves, to evaluate things of their own. That would be something that I would look forward to in my classroom. And that is what the teachers are specifically doing. And let me again tell you, it is just not a pen paper assessment that we focus on. There are a lot other techniques. When I talk about skill building, it's always intertwined with innovation, the creativity that comes, a math lab
Hmm.
activity, or maybe a language lab activity. All these things are there in the classroom, and children do create. Okay, resources are brought in by the children inside the classroom, and that is shared. It is shared on the visual platform, on the virtual platform, and children are engaged doing all these things. They make their own groups. Okay, and teachers are there observing the children in the online platform, where it is something that children are doing practically in their classroom. That is what we believe in, and that is what I think teachers have to look forward to, rather than rote lecturing methods. Or you give them certain material, like you've given them a topic where you've given them a link, a research topic, you give them a link, you ask them to go through that link, ask them to find out material, and then maybe you can conduct seminars, you can conduct symposiums where a child is conducting, and even the teacher becomes a student over there, where the child is free to ask questions to the teachers also. If you have certain learning styles like this adopted in your classroom, I'm very sure learning is going to be fun for the children, and it is a sort of celebration for them because they are taking the onus of that.
Wonderful, wonderful insight, ma'am, about micro learning. Let's move to the other side of the grass. What about micro teaching? According to you, what is micro teaching? But does it mean anywhere that you have to nitpick a child's habits and understand what minutest behavior or what minutest things would disturb him or inspire him? Would you like to mention certain practices of delivering micro teaching during the pandemic?
Yeah, that's a very good question that you asked. I think, like you said, there's a myth that first we need to break about micro teaching.
Yeah,
When you say, see, the word is micro teaching, not micro learning. That is what you exactly asked me.
yeah,
So when you say micro teaching, the teacher should also be able to. It's a heterogeneous class. So if in a class of 20 students, only five students have understood what she has taught, then definitely she has to evaluate her teaching techniques, right? That is what is micro teaching. Now, when you come to micro learning, so micro teaching and micro learning are interlinked to each other.
right.
Right. So, like I said, if the teacher has understood that out of 20 students, only five students have understood, it means she has to revamp her system, and she has to at least ensure that out of 20, 18 students have understood. So, after every learning module or after every concept delivery, there should be some techniques in which she has to understand that what is my students' intake for that particular the learning outcome. Like CBSE talks about the learning outcome. So let's focus on that only. What is the learning outcome from what I have taught my students? And then how do I change it? And the next thing that you said, what technique? Once you've understood this, it's just building the confidence in the child. Yes, whatever I have taught you, I have got other ways of making that easier for you, making that palatable for you. So she can design some worksheets based on different cognitive levels where she tells the children, yes, you can all do it. And there is some sort of handholding by the teacher, even in that virtual classroom, where she tells, okay, Himanshu, I think you can do it very well. And these are some certain clues that I have given. Once a child has done it, okay, now extend your learning capacity.
Right.
And then, oh my God, challenge yourself. You are a challenger. So when she gives such motivating words, okay, even in a virtual classroom, do you think there is any looking back for the child? Every
No,
child becomes a learner. And that is what is micro teaching all about.
of course.
Intervi-
So basically, micro teaching means basically when she knows what will inspire you, when she feels your pulse, basically,
Yes,
right?
she feels the pulse of the child, where she also evaluates her learning, her teaching style. She should not say it is like one shoe size fits all. That is a
Yeah,
wrong path.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. All right. So moving forward, ma'am, as a leader, as a school leader, I know this is your own school and you've started this venture. What are the tech tools that you have integrated your classroom with, or are you looking for certain solutions at this point of time?
Yes, like we say tech tools, we have a Zoom platform actually. We have taken content from one company known as EduBus Knowledge Solution. But I don't ask the teachers to completely rely on that.
Hmm.
We make our DLPs, and as per the DLPs, so it is a daily lesson plan. It's lesson plan, daily lesson plan, where every lesson plan goes through an individual activity as well as a collaborative activity. In 40 minutes is a collaborative activity for the students and even an individual activity. So that is how my lesson plans are planned. And what happens is we prepare for the students, we prepare the agenda. This is what is going to be taught throughout the week. We have made a skill-based framework. And
Oh,
if you
wow.
visit my website, you will see that also. We have planned a skill-based framework for all the subjects. So, what are the major skills that a child has to learn throughout the week in that particular concept? That is what we look forward to, and that is given to the child 1 week before, so that the child is also mentally prepared. And then, like I said, the DLP is a system where every activity there's a collaborative learning happening. Collaborative learning is to ensure, and if the teacher is present in the classroom, although the teacher is present in the classroom, she keeps herself mute so the children don't know that the teacher is present. We give them the autonomy to perform. And wherever the teacher sees that there is some hurdle in any group, she very gently intervenes and tells them. And we also have a system where we ask them to take out their traffic signals. So once the traffic signals are put up by the children, the teacher knows silently she is there with in that group, helping the children to overcome the situation. And that is how we go. And then later on, like I said, there's an individual activity also going on to know how much individually the child has learned and how much he or she is able to present it before the others. And once a week, we have every Saturday, we have the system of seminars and symposiums or small group discussions or open floor discussions with our students where they explain and they expound on the topics that they have learned.
Wonderful, ma'am. I was just going through the website of the school, to be honest, when you mentioned. So it looks to be a very promising school. I'm pretty sure about it. And plus, with you at the helm of the leadership, it's going to do wonders. Ma'am, moving forward, what would you like to, since you told me that this is a new school, were there certain initial challenges related to it? When you were, and of course, let's say the biggest challenge was pandemic, to be very honest.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when it came to adopting or integrating technology with teaching, did you face certain challenges? I'm sure one of the challenge would be to train your teachers.
Yeah.
Apart from that, that I can understand, Saroja ma'am, because this is the constant answer which I get that training the teachers was a challenge at first, but then they also worked very hard towards it and they eventually grasped it. Ma'am, did you face any challenges?
Like you said, yes, Himanshu. Specifically, two challenges I'll tell you. One is, like I said, like you're training the teachers, because if you go through my website, you will see it's a skill-based framework,
Yeah.
maybe something a very new concept for the teachers also. Still, teachers are wriggling under that traditional mode only. So, getting them out of that, making them understand that what learning is all about and what we expect. That was an initial challenge, but like you said, yes, they are picking it up. And let me tell you one more thing. This would be the first school to give students a textual notebook. We are planning, we are working on that. We are going to bring out textual notebooks, maybe the next academic year, the textual notebooks for the students, which will make the work for the students also easy and for the teachers also, because they will know what exactly they are supposed to deliver. Like we have self-reflection, a starter activity, what collaborative tools. So everything is mentioned in the notebook. So the parents also come to know, okay, this is how the students are being trained in the school. So we are come, and you won't believe, Himanshu, my teachers are only preparing this. I've given them certain guidelines, so we are doing it. So, like you said, that challenge is being overcome. Now, the next challenge, I don't want to be, I don't want to, it's not stamping any state about some practices that they are not able to do. But definitely here the challenge is there. As parents are still like, they're like a bridal horse where they think that it's only a doctor or engineer that we need to make our children, and technology is not of much use. Rote learning, they still believe in rote learning. They do not believe in holistic development of their children. So for them, they believe that, you just give a lecture method, or you don't have to use multiple tools for teaching the children. So that also I'm holding workshops with my parents, making them understand. First is I'm making them aware about how every child is different. You cannot compare a hummingbird to an ostrich, or a basil plant to a mango or tree. You can't do all those things. The children are also different. So let them come out with different skills for which technology is a must. Is a must. Like we have formed WhatsApp group with the parents. Okay, we also take frequent Zoom meetings with the parents. So they're reluctant to join all these things. So gradually that awareness also needs to come in my parents. The next challenge that I face is regarding the quality of correction work. Really want to improve on the quality of correction work. So I would urge people like you only to come forward, find a technique through technology where even the correction work becomes a quality-oriented system in the schools.
Ma'am, don't worry, we already have certain things available in place. We'll get in touch with you, no problem. Ma'am, so one very intriguing thing. I'm in the English platform and I can see skill based framework for languages.
Did you see
Language,
that? Yes.
this is something I've never seen for language.
So basically, we're all educators, passionate about it, Himanshu. So we are trying to do something for the society, for our kids.
Ma'am, this is something brilliant. I'll tell you why. This is preparing a child at school level to become a good creative writer at school level. Trust me, I've not seen such type of activities in university level as well, wherein it is mentioned that stand in front of the mirror
Yeah.
and matlab, I know what I'm talking about because observe your body language and expression, have eye contact with the audience, have a
Yes.
smile on your face, let the point of the main content be in your mind. Now give the following. I mean, so this skill based framework, I'm pretty sure it's going to have a lot of, it's going to add a lot of value to a student. I'm very,
I
very
hope.
sure, ma'am. Commendable effort. See, again, I went off script. Commendable effort, ma'am.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank
All
you.
right.
But
Yes, ma'am. Go on, please.
I said, it is the kudos to my team also because see now they have started learning. So I've given them the inputs and they have given me the entire set of things. So I think they also required to be applauded for this.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. See, I can understand skill-based learning when it comes to science, maths, practical subjects, but even English language and how to implement the content. Okay, so the other day I was having this conversation with कोई educator थे मैम अब याद नहीं कहाँ से थे but उन्होंने बोला that how they modified their content during pandemic was that they made it for everybody in the family so that their father and brothers and sisters and mothers and grandparents everybody can participate and it becomes a wholesome activity for the entire community. So, ma'am,
Yes,
have
yes.
you do you also plan to do this?
We are, I think, good that you asked me. We are also doing it. My holiday homeworks are not based on the textbooks. We have holiday homeworks where the entire family can participate.
Wow.
Like I'll give you a small example. A holiday homework in French. I asked my French teacher to plan it in such a way. I said morning, right from the morning time when the child gets up, meeting the parents. Okay, a French breakfast laid on the table. Okay, the table manners. So right from the morning till the evening, you have a French heritage in the whole French heritage and tradition in the entire family for them to understand the importance of this language. And that was a holiday homework plan for the children. So we have such holiday homeworks only planned where either the community is involved or the family is involved. Like you said, for maths, we had planned a vegetable market inside the house. I said, you plan a vegetable market where the child was a seller and the parents and the family members were coming to buy from the child. And ultimately, the child had to calculate how much profit or whatever loss, whatever it is. So this sort of situations is what we give for the children during the holidays.
Wonderful, ma'am. And if I want to know generally what roughly would be the strength of the school at this point of time?
At present, because it's a new school, I started it. You should actually give me a pack for this because I started the school in mid October, and
Yeah,
I'm having
that's big, very big deal. During pandemic, you took such a big, initiation. I know
yeah.
this for a fact because we had this conversation earlier as well.
Yeah, because I wanted to give something different. My passion was to give something different, and I'm happy that I'm doing it. And the fee structure also, Himanshu, I'll share with you. It's a very we are giving all the whatever a premier school can give the children. We're giving all those facilities at such an affordable cost. So I told you now around 100 students have registered for me.
Wow.
Now, like you said, because we are having a foundation program, I'll share the foundation program also with all of you. From 18th February, we are starting off with the foundation program, building up upon the basic skills of the children. Like, for example, a child of grade 1 who is at present in grade 1 can enroll for the foundation program in grade 1 itself. He or she will be made so much competent, such a lot of competencies will be developed subject wise to the child that by the time he comes to grade 2, and April 7th we start off with our new session. So March we end this foundation program. Keeping all these basic skills in mind, we have formulated our foundation program. So what happens is, and it is like, day one what the teacher will do, day two what the teacher will do. So that minutely it has been planned, and I'm very sure 1.5 months of this foundation program will help the children to develop a set of competencies in their subjects.
I'm sure
So
it will,
now
ma'am.
around 100 students, I have around 100 students, and I should be happy to share with you every day at least 40 admissions pour in, because we are seeing what good work we are doing. So it's every day the ratio is either 2 admissions or 3 admissions that come. So now around 100 students we are having in the campus.
Nice, ma'am. Nice. That's a good start. But let the schools reopen physically, then I'm sure this number will cross many fold. And plus,
Yeah,
the approach that you're taking, it's actually a 21st century approach, or rather, I should say, 22nd century approach now. Because skill based learning and this experiential learning will definitely add a lot of value in the system.
and I think we'll be the first school to incorporate a newspaper in education. And that right from the fifth standard, which I'm going to, like, it's going to be a theme-based learning. For example, if the child has a lesson on Bachendri Pal, okay, it's something to do with adventure. Then we have got a newspaper cutting which talks about adventure, and the child will be made to do that activity as per the format, and then we'll have go in for an open floor discussion. That is how we are, like, it is intertwining reading, writing, speaking, and listening for the children.
Right, ma'am. Right. Absolutely. So that's also a very innovative concept, to be honest. And moving forward, ma'am, uh, so as we come to the close of the webinar, a few tips and tricks, and also few things which you think a school must have nowadays, whether it can be a tool like ERP system, mobile app, or it can be some attribute, or it can be some infrastructure. Three things a school should possess or to become successful.
Like you said, yeah, first and foremost, every school, I think, wherever it is, they should have an ERP system.
Right.
That is a must for every school, and everything should be integrated into that. Right from child's progress to your bus services, what and all, like whatever systems are there in the school, like you say, standard operating procedure, whatever is there in the school, everything has to be intertwined with that only. So ERP is a must. That's what I feel. Secondly, like you said, the school should be a digital campus, a complete digital campus with all the facilities, even the progress reports. If you have a system like that, even your progress reports will be generated on the ERP itself, which should be and the achievement record should focus on the skills of the children. It should be a skill-based achievement record that has to be given to them. Next, a mobile app is also a must. A mobile app is also a must in the school, because at least even parents can know that what when you say a mobile app, it's just not the teaching. Whatever you're doing, everything has to be there in that mobile app. So over a period of time, that becomes a wealth of the school. The mobile app becomes a wealth of the school. That is what I think. Two things that the school should definitely have. And the third, like you said, the third approach is the basic infrastructure. Or the basic infrastructure, it should be there in all the schools. It is just not okay. Focusing, of course, learning is a must in every school, but it is just not focusing on the 3 hours. But I would say it should be the mental, intellectual, physical, and the moral growth of the child. So it should be, focusing on all the aspects of the children's growth, which means just don't confine your children to bookish knowledge, but give them a variety of experience for which the basic infrastructure is needed in all the schools. That's what I feel.
Absolutely, ma'am, and that's actually a very wonderful approach. And I'm sure with an approach like yours and with a vision like yours, your school is definitely going to we're going to see it like becoming a top 10 schools in a short time. Thank you so much, Saroja ma'am, for again giving me your valuable time and actually coming on board and discussing about technology and everything. It's always a lovely pleasure talking to you. And with that beautiful smile, it always brightens up my day.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am.
It was an honor to be there, Himanshu. Thank you so much.
Have a nice day, ma'am. Bye bye.